Bitcoin crashed to $28,000 yesterday, and Ethereum in 1 week crashed from $4,300 highs all the way down to $1,800, which is a roughly 60% drop in just a week for Ethereum. What's going on, guys? My name is Caleb, and in this video, we're going to be talking about what is happening in the markets. Are we going through a capitulation similar to the end of the 2017 bull run where we fell 90% and didn't recover for a couple years? A lot of traders are very fearful right now that this is the end of the bull run. And even though we've come back since then, Bitcoin is currently at 41,000. A lot of people are afraid, and the sentiment is that this is going to continue to sell off here. A lot of people think that, we're going to bounce back a little bit, but just like over here, they're afraid and very fearful for their account because they just saw their account at, double this size. They're very fearful, and that is spreading throughout the market right now like wildfire. But in this video, we're going to talk about what's going on, what happened, and how you can avoid making the mistakes that a lot of traders made over the week. Okay, actually just yesterday. So first of all, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit subscribe, and also make sure you like this video so that you can start to see other similar content. So let's listen in, because Cathie Wood just yesterday was interviewed by Bloomberg, and she weighed in on what she thinks is going to happen if this is the end of the bull market or not. So let's listen in.
What happens though in the meantime? So here we are at 35,000, Cathie. Do you think we go much lower from here?
You never know how low is low when a market gets very emotional. A lot of traders see Bitcoin dropping below the 200-day moving average. Which was at 40,000. So traders, once that happened, they just dump. Some just dump and run. I think we're in a capitulation phase. Yassine has a dashboard. We were looking at all the indicators this morning. They are all suggesting that we are in the capitulation phase, which is a really great time to buy, no matter what the asset is. A capitulation phase is buy. It's on sale. Now, am I saying 35,000 is the low? If traders, and there are a lot of speculators in Bitcoin, if they are running for the hills just because Bitcoin has broken through a moving average that is important to them, it could continue. But all of our indicators are saying this is capitulation right now.
Wow. So there you have it from Cathie Wood. And I have to agree 100%. Okay. So first of all, we're going to assume two things that are never, ever going to change. One is, the Ethereum and Bitcoin protocols, the underlying protocols, nothing changed. Okay. There was some fear, uncertainty, and doubt spread across everywhere. We heard a lot about the China bans. It's almost like the same thing from 2017. We saw Elon Musk tweeting everywhere, and a lot of fear, uncertainty, and doubt left people exposed to making these sell-offs, okay? And then once these sell-offs happened, as the news was pitching to everybody, fear, uncertainty, and doubt, we saw traders who were, used to only seeing in Bitcoin up movements for the entire last year. They saw up movements and up movements, even though we had little pullbacks. People got too comfortable and complacent and were getting over leveraged especially with the advance of DeFi and how easy it is to get over leveraged and borrow. They got over leveraged. They thought that this was the pullback, got a lot of leverage over here, and then left themselves exposed to liquidations, which is what we're going to be talking about a lot in this video. So whenever people are overexposed, the very, very wealthy traders, the big whales, they're experienced. They don't operate off of emotions. They know exactly, especially that, Bitcoin and Ethereum, everything's public on the blockchain. We can see exactly how much total value is locked in these DeFi protocols. We see this over the last year. You can see on DeFi Pulse how much value is locked in total into these DeFi protocols like Aave, Compound. Okay, people are able to clearly tell who's over leveraged and who's not, and how big, overextended we're getting, and people are getting too greedy, because that never changes, right? Greed, fear, new traders' emotions are played on like a harp over and over again by the big traders with deep pockets. Okay, and they're able to execute what we saw happen over these, look at this, in 3 hours. These are hour-long candles. In just 3 hour-long candles, we saw Bitcoin fall from 40,000 down to under 30, went to 28,000. Now that's not fear, okay? A move like this, yes, we see, moves up and down like this. That is, fear, uncertainty, and doubt, okay? Let me go back to the last month, okay? These moves down are fear, uncertainty, and doubt, okay? When we see a complete capitulation like we did in these 3 hours, if any of you were watching your account, I was up at 5 a.m. yesterday, and it was completely insane. You might have thought that there was some kind of hack or something going on, because it was almost hard to believe. Every time you refresh your screen, Bitcoin or Ethereum was just down another couple hundred, okay? This wasn't fear, uncertainty, and doubt. This was liquidations. This was people getting onto these apps, borrowing way too much, leaving themselves way overexposed so that big boys can just come in and eat their lunch, okay? So in a liquidation, up to 50% of a borrower's debt is repaid, and that value plus liquidation fee is taken from the collateral available. So after a liquidation, that amount is liquidated from your debt. This is Aave. Every protocol works differently. But what I want to highlight here, and the reason this happens so hard and fast in cryptocurrencies rather than traditional markets, is because, well, first of all, it is a very new platform, so a lot of new traders and emotions are here. But the second thing that contributes to this insane black swan sell-off event and liquidation event is, unlike traditional markets where you've heard of margin calls, right? People get a margin call, and basically that's the brokerage calling them to say, hey, your loan is getting under collateralized, you need to repay your loan, and you have a certain amount of time. Well, in decentralized finance, that's the good thing and the bad thing all bundled into one. There is no brokerage. There is no person intermediary between us and the liquidity pools and providers. All it is a smart contract. It is ones and zeros, okay? And that smart contract is going to perform its duties, in real time, instantly. So once the price of Bitcoin or Ethereum, your collateral that people put into these protocols, because they can put their Ethereum, for example, into the protocol and borrow against it. But once that collateral drops, right, whether it's actually, that's the actual fair price or not, once this data shows into the smart contract that it's dropped, once it hits a certain level, their entire account, or 50% of their account, whatever platform they're using, gets liquidated. And it's not just a limit order that's placed. These are getting liquidated at whatever the market value is at that point. And then, because that just gets instantly liquidated, the order books aren't there to fill quickly enough, right? The liquidations are overpowering the books, which triggers the next liquidation and the next liquidation and the next guy that gets liquidated. And it just keeps happening over and over and over. And people get wrecked like this. So that is a very, very unfortunate event, but that's what happened. A lot of people who were over leveraged got exactly what that guy went through. And if any of you went through that, I am so sorry. My heart goes out to you. I wish you nothing but the best. But please learn from your mistakes. Don't leave yourself over leveraged. It is very easy to lose sight, especially when we see 28% up moves in a day and you hear people just making millions. It is very easy to lose sight of the reality that these things can happen. And I strongly suggest that everybody, I can't give you any financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor, but be careful. Always stay, if you can avoid any leverage at all, I suggest you avoid it because, again, not financial advice, but these things can happen, especially in such a new market where you're exposed to the emotions of everybody else, all the new traders around you buying Dogcoin and Shibu coin, whatever that one was, and SafeMoon. These people are overexposing themselves, which leaves the entire market or whatever collateral you're borrowing against, leaves it all exposed. And I want to highlight another thing that happened yesterday. So we see right now the current gas prices are 53 Gwei. That's about, it's a little bit low, but that's about regular, okay? Something that happened that even I didn't really see coming. I mean, I saw it coming, but I don't think anyone thought it was going to get this crazy. So right now, if you want to just send your Ethereum or whatever token, ERC20 token, from one wallet to another, it's going to cost you about $3.42 currently, okay? If you're going to do a Uniswap transfer, which is a little bit more complicated, it's going to cost you $32, okay? Well, what happened yesterday, as we saw this capitulation, especially over such a short amount of time, is we saw people panicking, okay? These people were watching their account drop. They saw their collateral dropping so fast, they were getting close to getting liquidated. So they would go on to, whatever they borrowed to purchase. Let's say they use Ethereum as their collateral. They borrowed USDC and went and, swapped their USDC on Uniswap for whatever, SafeMoon, okay? Well, now they need to quickly sell their SafeMoon at whatever current price it was. They didn't care, okay? And they needed to get back over to USDC to pay back some of that loan before the loan got paid back for them at whatever price, okay? So this was happening across the board to everybody. And then we saw prices go in a matter of minutes for gas prices from, 89 gwei average to over 2,000 gwei for a simple transaction. The network just got so insanely congested all at one time as everybody was rushing and panicking to cover their positions. The network was basically unusable. I mean, for a I don't know the exact prices of what a Uniswap transfer was yesterday, but I imagine it was it peaked probably somewhere in the $800 for just a Uniswap transfer, which to some people, I mean, your funds are basically locked, right? Unless you're willing to just accept the $800 transfer fee. If you were, trying to cover your position last minute like everybody was, there can only be so many people going through the network at the same time, right? So that's what happened. And then they couldn't cover their positions and just got liquidated. And the big boys that were, have deep pockets that planned this liquidation, you could say attack, but attack's kind of harsh, strategy, right? They did what's fair. They didn't do anything wrong other than expose people that were over leveraged. They took advantage. They had their limit orders already ready to go. They bought in at heavy numbers and they took people's Ethereum and Bitcoin for pennies on the dollar, okay? But that's what happens. And if anything, we can learn our lesson from this. Don't leave yourself overexposed. It can be very easy to lose sight of what's going on, but just remember, guys, that this kind of reckoning can happen and will happen. And if anything, as we pull back, and I agree with Cathie, okay, not financial advice, I think that nothing has changed. I still believe that we're going to 100,000. Bull market, for Bitcoin at least, the bull market is not over. We are still at very early adopters, but game's not over. Even if you are, depressed, if you got liquidated, my heart goes out to you. You're not out of the game, okay? There's still so much road ahead of us. So please just remember, next time, once we start to see crazy overvaluations, there's never anything wrong with taking some money off of the table. As I talked about on this channel, I'm mostly in Ethereum. Let's see if my internet's going to load here. I was actually selling off some Ethereum at 3,400. I sold off some more at 3,800, and then I sold off a little bit more at 4,000. Okay, and yeah, I'm not going to load here, but the reason I did that was not only to invest some more into DeFi, but I also wanted to take out some more off the table because I've been here since 2017. I know these reckonings happen, and when they happen, they surprise everybody. Nobody expects them to go that low, and the only people who win are the people who are patient, the people who don't trade based off of emotion. They leave their emotion at the door, and they take advantage of the people who trade with emotion, right? Who lock up too much, and they're ready to hand out their Bitcoin and Ethereum. So don't let it happen to you. Don't give the whales any more of your Bitcoin and Ethereum. Just stay safe, guys. Stay calm and leave your emotions at the door. Always research, do your own due diligence. The protocols are there. I still definitely, nothing has changed as far as my opinions on any of this, and it shouldn't have for you either. Ethereum is the future for sure, in my opinion. Smart contracts are definitely the future. Okay, so anyway, guys, thank you so much. If you like this video, you learned anything from it, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. And I want to make this kind of an open conversation. If you got liquidated, if you went through some stressful times yesterday like the rest of us, comment down below. Let me know your situation. Do you think we're going straight back up from here? Do you think that this is kind of a fake out and we have some more pain to come? Let me know down below in the comments. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.